The problem that we're going to do today is on trade, and we'll be looking mostly at the idea of absolute advantage and comparative advantage. Uh, we're going to be making assumptions for our problems. We're going to assume that we live in a linear world, that the products that we're dealing with have identical demand curves, and that in our world we only have two trading partners and two products. Uh, these may seem to be too unrealistic, but they do allow us to demonstrate the ideas without the math getting in the way too much. There's still some math, but not quite like it would be otherwise. We'll start with an example of two countries named A and B that make wheat and or corn. Country A can make 100 wheat or 200 corn. Country B can make 200 wheat or 500 corn. So the first question generally is going to be who has the absolute advantage. Basically, who can make more than the other country. And so in our case, country A can make 100 wheat, but country B can make 200 wheat. So country B wins there, and country A can make 200 corn. Country B can make up to 500 corn. So country B can make more of each, so they're going to have the absolute advantage. When you can make more of both, you have the absolute advantage over the other country. It does not mean that you cannot benefit from trading, but it does mean that you could produce more of each. Comparative advantage is where one country can do something relatively cheaper than the other. We try to minimize the opportunity cost here, and so for our first problem, we'll look at wheat, and we'll look at what is the cost of wheat or of making wheat for each country. Basically, who gives up the least amount of corn in order to make the wheat. So for the math, we can look at country A and try and figure out what is the amount that we have to give up to make one item of wheat for country A. We need to get that 100 down to 1, so we will divide it by 100. And what we do to one side of the equation, we need to do to the other side. So that 200 divided by 100 will come down to corn. So to produce one item of wheat, we need to give up 2 items of corn. For country B, we'll do the same thing. We're going to come down to 1 item of wheat. To get from 200 down to 100, we'll divide by 200. What we do to one side, we'll need to do to the other side. So 500 divided by 200 will give us 2.5 corn. So country A is going to end up where we had to give up least. And just to make it slightly more readable than my handwriting, summarize it here at the bottom. 1 wheat, we have to give up making 2 items of corn for country A, and for country B, 1 wheat, we have to give up making 2.5. So for country A, they have the comparative advantage in wheat. They gave up the least amount of corn to produce that wheat. To produce 1 wheat, country A must give up 2 items of corn. Country B must give up 2.5. Country A has the lower opportunity cost as they give up the least, so they have the comparative advantage in producing wheat, and they will naturally end up doing so. That will end up being their specialty item. So we can do the same thing for corn. We'll get down to 1 item of corn. So to get down to 1, we have to divide both sides by 200. And so 100 divided by 200 is 0.5. The answer showed up a little early down here. But we'll look over here to get one item of corn on this side. We'll have to divide both sides by 500. 500 divided by 500 to get us down to the one that we want. And 200 divided by 500 will end up at 0.440. So we'll give up 4/10 for country B, and half for country A. So country B will be cheaper. Country B has the comparative advantage. They give up less wheat to produce corn. Country B only gives up 4/10, while country A gives up 5/10. Country B has the lower opportunity cost, which gives them the comparative advantage in producing corn, and that will end up being their specialty and will make them the most revenue. So in summary, basically every country, area, person has a comparative advantage in something. Because of that, every country can benefit from trading. Restricting trade hurts the country, area, or person, as they are now forced into suboptimal production. Without trade, they will or they'll have to produce items that they're not good at making, so they won't make as much from their work, and they will become poor. Trade basically makes everybody better off in the end.